What's up guys, Chigs here from Chigs Tech Reviews. So this is the iPhone 11 Pro Max Midnight Green 256 gigs people, and I've been using this phone for just over a week as my daily driver, and in this video I will be sharing with you guys what I think about this smartphone after a week's of usage, and of course my pros and cons at the end of the video. Now first of all, inside the box you will find user manual with your SIM eject tool and your Apple stickers. You've got a pair of headphones here, wired lightning connection, and for the first time in the history of Apple iPhones, you are getting a fast charger included in the box. So that's an 18-watt fast charger, and it has a USB Type-C connection. And another thing I really like is you're getting a USB Type-C to lightning cable, which means I can plug this directly into my MacBook without the need of any hubs or adapters. So that's very convenient. And last but of course not least, the smartphone itself. Now the iPhone 11 Pro Max is a beautifully designed smartphone. It's actually made from a gorgeous stainless steel frame going all the way around, and you have a front and back glass finish. Now what I like is the green is incorporated into the stainless steel and very nicely blended in. It gives the smartphone a very nice look. Now I personally think that this midnight green is the most beautiful looking iPhone we have seen to date. Bezels, yes, you do have bezels going all the way around. You do have a slight chin and forehead along with a super Apple notch to go with it. So I'll put the specs on the screen so you guys can have a quick read. So we are looking at a 6.5 inch Super Retina XDR display with 458 pixels per inch, along with a screen resolution of 1242 by 2688 and a screen aspect ratio of 19.5 by 9. So we do have a full screen display with Apple's trademark notch at the top, and you do have a scratch resistant screen on the front, and after a week of use you can see the smartphone has not picked up any scratches from the front or the back. So it looks like I've done a good job at looking after this smartphone so far. Now screen quality is absolutely awesome. You have a 2,000,000:1 contrast ratio, and it's absolutely beautiful to look at. You've got a nice and bright screen, and if I show you, we are only halfway brightness there. That's full brightness, and I know my camera is not going to like that full brightness, but I can tell you now it's a very bright screen. So let's go back to around halfway. So nice and bright screen, awesome vivid colors, great levels of contrast, and the viewing angles are simply awesome. Now you can stream a maximum of 1080p at 60 frames per second on YouTube, and as you can see the video streams very smooth and looks absolutely amazing on that gorgeous screen. And you can also stream Netflix HDR, and again the quality looks great, and you do have support for Dolby Vision, HDR10 and Dolby Atmos. So the best quality video and sound is available on this iPhone. In fact, I've not seen any other smartphone which supports Dolby Vision on Netflix. Now let's talk about the power. This phone is powered by Apple's new A13 Bionic hexa-core chip with 4 gigs of RAM, and I chose the 256 gig variant as the base model of 64 gigs would definitely not have been enough, especially with the 4K camera capabilities. That 64 gig would have been filled up very quickly. Also, there was a lot of speculation about the RAM. Well, I can confirm that it's not 12 gigs of RAM, you are getting only 4 gigs of RAM. Now let's talk about the cameras. For the first time ever, Apple has finally given us a triple camera setup. And I can tell you right now, the camera system is absolutely amazing. You have a 12 megapixel main camera, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 12 megapixel telephoto. Now what's amazing is all three sensors are able to shoot in 4K at 60 frames per second. The main camera and telephoto will give you optical image stabilization, and the telephoto lens will also give you 2x optical zoom. Furthermore, on the front we have a 12 megapixel selfie camera and a 3D depth sensor, and the selfie camera is also capable of shooting 4K at 60 frames per second with gyro image stabilization. So without further ado, here are some photo and video samples for you guys to check out. So here is a quick video sample for you guys. We are shooting 4K at 60 frames per second with optical image stabilization on, and as you can see, the video quality is very impressive and the stabilization is absolutely buttery smooth. So this has to be the best video quality I've seen so far from a smartphone camera. So whilst playing around with the cameras, I couldn't help myself. Here is a very quick camera comparison between the iPhone 11 Pro Max versus the Huawei P30 Pro, and I want to know what you guys think. So let me know in the comments below which camera you think is performing better from both of these beasts. So here is a quick camera comparison between the iPhone 11 Pro Max versus the Huawei P30 Pro. So we are shooting 4K at 30 frames per second on both cameras. I believe we have image stabilization. On. Furthermore, you have dual band Wi-Fi with dual antennas. It's factory unlocked with 4G LTE and Bluetooth version 5. This is also running the latest version of iOS 13. Now the OS is without any doubt super smooth in operation. No matter what you do on this smartphone, you are not going to feel any lag or slowdown. So overall, the iPhone 11 Pro Max feels nice in the hands. It's very slim and attractive, but if I compare it to my current daily driver, the P30 Pro, you can see that the P30 Pro actually looks and feels like a more advanced product. Maybe a comparison is coming soon. Now this smartphone has no fingerprint sensor or Touch ID. To unlock the device, you only have Face ID, but I'm happy to say that Face ID is pretty fast to unlock, but you do have to swipe up every single time. And I haven't seen any option in settings to change to a direct unlock. Now at the bottom of the smartphone, we have a single microphone, your lightning charger port, and a single speaker. On the right, we have a power button and a single nano SIM card tray, but you can also use an eSIM at the same time, effectively giving you dual SIM support. There is nothing on the top of the smartphone, and on this side we have a mute switch and volume rockers. So moving on to the gaming, let's begin with PUBG Mobile. And PUBG Mobile has detected the highest graphical settings, but not just that, it's actually detected HDR graphics. So let's jump straight into some gameplay. So we can see some rendering issues over here against the water. You can see the water's got these black dots, and as you move past it, it gets worse. So I've only seen this issue with the water in PUBG Mobile. Now I've been playing PUBG Mobile all week on this device, and the best thing about it is it does not overheat at all. After a full game of PUBG Mobile, it's barely warm to the touch, so there are no overheating issues in the new iPhone Pro Max. Furthermore, you have a 3969 milliamp hour battery, which will get you through the day quite easily with around 11 hours of on-screen time. As mentioned previously, a fast charger is included in the box, and it takes around 70 minutes to fully charge this smartphone from 0 to 100%. So here is some information on AIDA64. So let's quickly have a look at the system storage and memory. So this is the 256GB model, and after filling it up with all my games and apps, you can see that I have 212 gigs free to use. And just underneath that, we've got our RAM information, so that's basically 4 gigs of RAM. And in the Wi-Fi speed test, we got download speeds of 68 and upload speeds of 18 megabits per second. And the top speeds we currently achieve in our office is between 68 to 70 megabits per second. So that brings us to our benchmarks, beginning with Geekbench multi-score of 3,540. And in the Antutu benchmark test, we achieved 459K. So let's see how that compares with the others. So here is my top performing smartphone chart of 2019, showing you the latest smartphones and seeing how they compare with each other. And as you can see, the new iPhone 11 Pro Max has taken position 2 on this chart with a benchmark score of 459K. Now you can view the full versions of all my charts online at chixtech.com and read them at your leisure. So there you have it, guys. That was the iPhone 11 Pro Max. And here are my thoughts on this device. So first of all, the plus points. Bright large OLED display, super fast A13 Bionic chip with a great iOS performance to go with it. An absolutely exceptional triple camera performance, probably the best camera I've come across on a smartphone to date. Now the sound quality from the stereo speakers is absolutely amazing, loud and crystal clear. Now you do have support for Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, and I tell you now, I've been blown away by the multimedia performance, especially Dolby Vision in Netflix. Now Face Unlock is very fast, battery life is the best from any iPhone we have seen so far. It will give you up to a whopping 11-hour screen on time. Now gaming performance was great. I was able to play PUBG Mobile on Ultra HDR settings, and it was buttery smooth gameplay. Now you have NFC, IP68 rating, wireless and reverse charging, and the fast charger is included in the box. Now the letdowns, and I understand not all of these are major or deal breakers, but I wanted to mention them anyway. Now the first one, which is the obvious one, too expensive. All three iPhone 11 models come with only 3 gigs of RAM, and this model being the Pro Max version, I was expecting a little bit more. Outdated design with lack of innovation. 64GB base is just too less, especially for a Pro Max model. 3D touch is gone, no audio jack and no fingerprint sensor. Out of habit, I couldn't help reaching out for the fingerprint sensor, especially the on-screen fingerprint sensor, which I'm very used to, but I did eventually get used to the Face ID unlock. Now, bottom line, the iPhone 11 Pro Max seems like an incremental upgrade to the iPhone XS Max. Whilst not much has changed in the design aspect, nevertheless, you are getting better antennas, better battery life, a higher quality OLED display, an amazing triple camera setup, and an 18-watt charger is there in the box waiting for you. Now, I have a choice of putting my SIM card back into the P30 Pro, but after a week of usage, I have to tell you guys, it's an absolutely amazing smartphone, and I'm actually enjoying it more than I expected. It's a powerful smartphone with no limitation to what it can do from gaming, browsing, or even editing videos directly on the smartphone. Furthermore, my SIM card will stay in this iPhone for another few weeks, and thereafter I will drop another video to let you guys know how I get on. And with that being said, I will leave the links in the description so you guys can check this product out. Meanwhile, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a brilliant day. See you in the next one, guys.